Welcome to my follower showcase for Xione, whatever, the Dark Elf. If you haven't watched my beginner's guide to followers, please watch that video before you watch this one. So, uh, Xion mm, is a follower with two different roles. First, she is just like Elira or Bree or Adhagus, a generator. She generates spell dust. At maximum level, she generates 50 per hour and has a maximum storage of 8 hours. But she also can craft spells for you by spending those spell dust that she creates. As you level her up, you get different options, as you can see. So first you can create random spell pages from 2 to 25 pages, and it costs 300 spell dust. Then you can choose for a specific color. Then you can create more spell pages, then create more spell pages of a selected color. Then you have the spells of a specific hero class that you can choose. And finally, at level 50, she unlocks create chosen spell pages. I haven't used any of the previous options. I think they're too random, and I personally don't like randomness. If you want to farm spell pages before you get her to level 50, just go to the different dungeons and open chests of that specific dungeon to get the spell pages that you need. And when you get her to level 50, then you can generate from 250 to 500 pages of a chosen spell. This costs 4,000 spell dust and 1 offer crystals. So here you can choose any base spell. What do I mean by base spell? Here you can see possible spells 108 out of 108. These are all the spells that you can find in story mode or in the regular dungeons. And this includes those spells. For example, this is dungeon number 1, which is the Dragon Guard Depths. And this includes the class-specific spells. For example, Eldritch Blast, which is a Warlock-specific spell. All these 108 spells can be crafted by her. However, if we go here to the spell tab, you will see that it says 168 out of 168. So where are those 60 extra spells that she cannot craft? Those spells are in the archive seasons. Each one of the seasons in season 1 and season 2 have 4 new spells. So for example, on this one, if we check here, we can check this season has these 4 spells. And you can obtain these 4 spells either in these caches. You can buy 2 of them here also in exchange for ancient coins, or you can find them in dungeon chests of this specific season. So, as I said, in season 1 and 2, there are 4 spells for each chapter, and in season 3 and 4, including the current season, which is this one, 4.1, here you can get 2 new spells. So these 60 spells that as new seasons are released slowly increase by 2 per season cannot be crafted by her. However, all the base 108 spells can. And as I said, the cost is 4,000 spell dust and 1 of her crystals. So she requires a lot of crystals after reaching the maximum level, but this can allow you to get your spells up to maximum level. Now, remember that it's from 250. Let me show it again. Sorry about that. From 250 to 500 pages of a chosen spell. When you get a spell at a very high rarity, for example, in this case, this one is at mythical rarity, 5 stars. Getting it to 5.5 stars will require 3,000 spell pages, and getting it to from um, 5.5 to 6 stars, which is ancient mythic, which is the maximum level any spell can get, will require an additional 4,000 spell pages. So from mythic to ancient mythic is 7,000 total, as well as, of course, scrolls. So it is very expensive to get spells at the maximum level, but she is very useful for the few key spells that you really need. For example, if you watch my video, this is the Purple Burn Warlock build. I have three generators: Darkness, Dark Eyes, and Eldritch Blast, which has two purposes. One is to deal damage and burn, and the second one, if the enemy is burning, is to generate gems. These three spells are really, really worth spending her spell dust and crystals to upgrade. But as you can see, I got them at mythical because getting them to the next level is 7,000 pages, and that is a huge investment that you need to put. On the other hand, Tentacle Slab, because I don't really need to upgrade this one, is only a 3.5 stars, so this is a big plus. Rarity, I don't think it's worth spending any resources on this one. But at least for now. What I mean is that there are other spells that are more important, more urgent to upgrade. Obviously, upgrading all your spells will increase your masteries, which will also increase their damage. But what I mean is that there are other spells that I consider more important than those ones. And this is Xione, a very, very useful um, both crafter and resource generator. Also, where are the other places where you can get spell dust from? Well, you sometimes can get it from the shop. However, I don't recommend, yeah, not today here, maybe on resources, relics, runes, and scrolls. I think there is an offer here today, or maybe not. No, there isn't. But sometimes you get the opportunity to buy it here in exchange for gems. I don't buy that. I don't think it's worth it. But the main source for it will be the events tab. If you go to the rewards shop, here you can exchange at any point in time, any day, your golden marks for spell dust. You spend 100 marks and you get 2,000 spell dust. So this is a very good way to get tons of spell dust. I made a video about events. Watch it if you want to know how to obtain those marks. And oops, wrong button. And that's about it. Again, a very useful um, follower, especially for the end game when you want to upgrade all your spells. Because, well, let me show you right now, for example, for my blue shaman, that this is a pure spell damage, ice elemental damage build. And if I select all the blue spells, no, not this, wrong tab. If I select all the blue spells here, As you can see, yeah, I have a few of them at high level. This one is only unlocked in seasons, so you cannot craft it with her. But for all the rest, as you can see, they're pretty low level. And the main reason is the availability of scrolls. Scrolls, especially for rare scrolls, they are a bottleneck. But yeah, in the end game, you really want to invest heavily in her and get all your spells at high rarity, which will greatly increase your spell damage. And that's about it. If you found this video useful, please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching.